Do you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water? That no matter how hard you try, meaningful progress remains out of reach? Heather gets that. She battled an eating disorder for years before seeking help. Now in recovery, Heather is here to tell you that positive change is possible even when it doesn't feel that way. Join her as she shares openly about her struggles and small triumphs. Fair warning though, Heather doesn't hold back. Her candid story may trigger some. But for those wanting honesty, hope, and healing, this is 1% Better with Heather. The information and stories shared on 1% Better are based on host Heather's personal experiences with eating disorders and mental health challenges. Heather is not a licensed doctor, therapist, dietitian, or other health professional. Her advice and opinions should not be taken as professional medical advice. Please consult your physician or a qualified health provider regarding any medical or health-related issues. 1% Better also contains descriptions of eating disorders that may be triggering for some listeners. Discretion is advised.
Hey there, my little gaffers, and welcome to the 1% Better podcast. I'm your host, Heather. It's funny because it rhymes. Today I have a very special guest, Recovery Dad, as he's affectionately known on TikTok. And he is exactly that, a dad trying to get his teenage daughter through this eating disorder recovery hell, and in the process has become everyone else's dad on TikTok. Welcome, Recovery Dad.
Hey, Heather, how's it going?
Very well. So your daughter's now home from inpatient, residential, sorry.
Right.
The 2-month stint. What is the aftermath of that?
Okay. Well, after that, she went to PHP for like a day. She refused to go back.
And again, PHP is
partial hospitalization program where she has meals and snacks up until a snack after lunch at this place with like therapy sessions, and then at night she spends the night in our house for dinner and another snack, and then goes right back the next morning, is what that PHP is. But she did not like that because, and I kind of agreed with her up to a point, because it just wasn't her eating disorder, anorexia. They had bulimia and they had other stuff in there as well. And so she would hear all these people talking about it in the groups, and she was freaking out. She did not want to hear about that. And there's a boy in there, which I'm not sure why they did that. I mean, I figure they did because they're not sleeping in the same building. They're, just going there for the day, and she could not get past that. So she did PHP for one day.
So when she was in the facility for 2 months, did she learn any habits in there? Were there bad, influential people? I know working with certain doctors, dietitians, people are assholes, man. Like, a lot of people don't care. Did she have a lot of stuff coming out of that?
Well, the thing is, when you have all these girls in there with the eating disorder, they do compete. From anything I've been told by one of them and other ones, they compete, and then they pick up behaviors from them, and they learn how to be better at hiding things. And one of Olivia's crutches was laxatives. She used them, obviously, to try to eat food. You want to come out real quick. That was one of the worst things, you can do, because if you do it way too much and too long, there's permanent damage. You can have a bag attached to your body to get rid of your waste if you do it too long and too much. And she did that before going into there, but she learned more, and she learned how to hide them better, and just learned other tricks from girls at the place, because they figured they were, helping each other out by doing that. And that was pretty much one of the worst things that she did. We were lucky in that extent, because, some of the other kids do a lot of other things, but that was her crutch, her weakness. She kept using them, and when we were at the store, she would take them without us knowing it. Sometimes she'd throw it a cart. We'd pay for it. Sometimes didn't even pay for it. And we would find them later on. My wife would find them when she would search her room, because straight up told her, I'm going to search your room whenever I want to search your room. She wasn't happy, but she had no choice.
And with the 8-week stint, did she keep in touch with any of the girls from there?
She tried, but it was hard because a lot of them, they have their own lives. They have college. One of the ones that she really looked up to, which we, she was a couple years older. She started college because she was 17. She was turning 18 soon, so she was going to get booted out of there anyways, because you can't be 18. You have to be under 18 to be there. And it was hard. They really didn't keep in touch, many of them. A couple like a text here and there, or they did Snapchat, probably because then the texts disappear. There's no record of it. But one girl saw me on TikTok and told this other girl, and she followed me and sent me a DM and told me who she was. And she's like, I remember Olivia. I went to residential with her. I was like, whoa. I was blown away that somebody actually found me on there.
Do you feel, because I know the one girl that you're talking about, and clearly she's safe. Would you ever say, no, you cannot talk to this person because you're going to get taken down with the Titanic with these other?
Oh, right. I see. It would depend who it was. Like the one who she's talked to, Lonnie, she's a good kid. I obviously I met her. I saw her at the facility. Especially we all did a big group with all the parents and stuff, like one of the last days that she was there. But it would depend on who it was and if they ever had any issues. I mean, there were several ones that one girl just in residential just left, went home, and just took off. Or her parent wanted to go to her parents' house because obviously she was close like we were. She was closer, and her parents called the place like, hey, so and so just showed up at home. And if it had been a girl like that, or one of the other girls who did not behave well, because we would get reported, Olivia would tell us. Credit to her, she told us everything, and we were so happy she did, because we would bring it to the attention of the director in an email and be like, how come you didn't tell us this happened? I mean, I said, our daughter, lucky for us, she tells us absolutely everything. And if it would have been one of those kids, never would have let them have any contact.
So looking back with envision and what's hindsight's 2020. Right?
Oh,
would you send her to that facility again? And again, hindsight's 2020.
To this exact facility or a facility like this? Or any residential?
No, to that exact, if you had have the knowledge now that you have, would you send her to that facility? And did you feel like any of the doctors, I don't know, you watch a lot of bad movies, right? Like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and shit. So I don't know. Would you be like, no way in hell?
No way in hell, not this one. No. At first, we were super excited.
And please don't name them. I don't want to get sued.
I didn't say the name, did I?
No. I'm just
okay.
Pre-warning.
No.
Pre-warning.
You
can sue me all you want. I'm in Canada. Good luck.
Yeah, you're a good kid. We were actually super excited because of the closeness it was to us. So we were like, this is great. But no, this place was only operating, we found out later, only a couple years. So everybody at this place was incredibly green and didn't have the skills. We thought the only thing they were good at, what they did, they put weight on her. That's it, which was obviously part of the goal. But if it's not done right, it's just done quickly. That's what all residential is. It's quick. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, when she came out, I'm like, okay, this would be the ideal weight for her to be. She looked good. She was happy. She was working out with me. She was stronger. I said, see, look at you, but to this particular place, no. And it would hopefully she never needs to go down that road again, but we're fully ready to put her in one if she needed it. And she would go. Obviously, she wouldn't have a choice, but she would go. But it would not be this one. And the hard part about that is then we wouldn't be close and we wouldn't be able to get those visits like we did. It would be drop her off and then to pick her up because, you know, you're not driving 12 hours or taking plane flights all the time for visits. It would just be phone calls.
Yeah, and that's hard. And because I was in the hospital, not like, because I was the 1%, as they say. I'm the unicorn. Not that you want to strive to be that.
No,
not saying
no.
that. Just saying you don't want to be me. Trust me. It's hard, right? Because I understand the gain weight very quickly. Like when you're in a starvation mode, literally you eat a carrot, and I'm going to tell everyone their worst nightmare. You're going to gain like 2 pounds off carrot. Yeah. So it doesn't take much to put on weight, right? So it's almost like a Band-Aid on an amputated leg.
And the amount of calories she was eating, it was crazy. Mm-hmm. Do you want to hear the number that this little 14-year-old?
Probably over 10,000. Probably over 10,000.
No, not that. God, she would be. It was close to 4. She was more than me. I mean, yeah. It's still. I mean, they would obviously. We knew exactly what they were eating, and it always thoroughly impressed me that these girls, they could get this down, and because there was another kid who was close. He lived about a mile away from us that was also there. They went to the same high school for a short time together when all of you went there. And we talked to the parents, and they were also like, this is unbelievable amount that these kids are eating, and they're doing it. Impressed.
Well, I always made the joke, like, because I'm on TikTok. Oh, hi. We're the Hot Mess Express. We're the Gen X. Like, we were just like, whatever, man. It's technology. Fine. Who cares? Right. Yeah. Right. But I always, and I'm horrible at this. I watch a lot of like, and we'll get into this part, but honestly, I watch a lot of TikTok food videos because I cook, I bake, I'm interested in it. And I live in Vancouver. I live in a very multicultural city, right? So I like seeing what other people cook, right?
Right.
And one thing that somehow I got down the rabbit hole of is competitive eating. And I always said, if you got freaking people in eating disorder recovery, would blow them out of the water. I was like, come on, right? Like, I'm like, I lost my calling. I should have done that when I first started recovery. Holy Hannah. Oh God.
Make some money.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's all for this episode of 1% Better. To continue the conversation, head over to our website at www.1percentbetter.ca, where you can access more stories and resources. We'd also love it if you subscribed and left us a review on your favorite podcast platform. And remember, friends, progress takes patience, perspective, and sometimes a little help from people who get it. So be kind to yourself and others as we work to get 1% better every day. We'll see you back here next week.